Hello YouTube, I'm immediately doing another deck profile, and this time it's going to be Shadoll Invoked. A very innovative and very competitive deck as well. Revolves around fusion summoning and link summoning, and almost going to be including the additional cards I got from my gold megatons, which also happens to be the high value card that's in this deck. So let us proceed. Maxing out on is Alistair the Invoker, a mandatory card at 3, because he allows you to constantly get your fusion plays going, and you'll see eventually later why he's so viable and why he's the key piece of the deck. So let's continue with another card. Also maxing out on Shadoll Wendy. It lets you get X to almost every single Shadoll monster that's in your deck, special summon either face up or face down depending on its effect. Although it does not include itself, it still comes in handy. Another Shadoll monster playing is only one Nail Shadoll Ariel. Allows you to special summon a Shadoll monster from your banish zone to your field when flipped face up. And if it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can banish up to 3 cards in either player's graveyard. So these are the 1-ups Shadoll Beast for draw power. You plus off this almost every single time you resolve its effect. Hedgehog, for obvious reasons, you get to either, when it's flipped face up, you get to add a Shadoll spell drop from your deck to your hand, or when it's sent to the graveyard by card effect, you get to add a Shadoll monster from your deck to your hand. Squamata, so you can dump Shadoll cards from your deck to your graveyard, and then if it gets flipped face up, you get to target and destroy a monster. This one's also similar to Shadoll Dragon, but if it's sent to the deck to the graveyard by a card effect, you get to target a spell drop card to pop it. And if it's flipped face up, you get target monster return to the hand. The final Shadoll monster is Falco, so we can reuse our Shadoll monsters, whether it's itself or when he's flipped face up, you get to summon a Shadoll monster besides stuff from the graveyard to your field face down. And for our hand traps, 2 Ash for our no explanation here. Psyframe Gear Gamma with the Psyframe package with the driver. Obviously, you want to see this to help enable you to continue with your plays when you get hand trapped. There's also another way you can dig for more special summons, and you can proceed to kill your opponent. Another hand trap, just playing 1 ghost spell onto Imagine, and a lot of these are also, I'll explain why a lot of the hand traps I'm playing are 1-ups. So one of these are these cards are mainly supposed to be cross-out designator targets. So for one, because I want to play them as 1-ups because I don't want to break with them, and they all have unique effects. For example, Ghost Spell, if my opponent tries to negate anything from the grave, I cross out this card and then it's negated for the rest of the turn, as long as they have the name with a card with this name. Drone Lockbird, where if they try to prevent me from adding more cards from my deck, I can prevent that with Designator as well. Effect Failure, for obvious reasons, if they try to negate my monster effects, I can stop that as well by banishing Effect Failure. If they have an Effect Failure from their hand, I can banish 1 from my deck to negate that. Nibiru, if when I need to extend my plays even further and they try to tribute all my monsters, it's the same with Cross-Out Designator. So we'll proceed with our spells, maxing out our Magical Meltdown, see our Alistair early in the game a lot more quicker, obvious, and basically when you fusion summon, they cannot be negated, they cannot respond to the activation of fusion spells. For the card that was searched out, that will be searched with Alistair, is Invocation. High value card, also lets you fusion summon, and then it also can resolve in the grave, where if you have an Alistair that's banished, you can shuffle it, as well as this card, and then you get to add the Alistair to your hand, as well as shuffling this card to the deck. And for our Shadoll cards, Shadoll Fusion, so we can basically fusion some from our main deck, as well as our hand and field, if their opponent controls an extra type monster, and then that's how to continue extending our plays even further. Another El Shadoll card we're playing is El Shadoll Fusion. case I wanna see my fusion summon as much as possible. It can also be activated during my opponent's turn. Called by the grave to negate hand traps, as well as 2 cross-out designators, which is also the key piece of the deck. Also, it's like playing 3 Called by the Graves, because although you have to have like key pieces to your deck to actually trigger to activate this card's effect for it to be more viable, its value, and there's a reason why this card's value is spiked to really high right now, because like it is game changing, it is meta worth, and it can pretty much stop every single card out there in Yu-Gi-Oh! As long as you have that copy in your deck, which is why this card is so mandatory right now. And we'll continue with our spells again. Terraform to search our field spell, the Magical Meltdown, Instant Fusion to get out our Winda, and Super Poly if we want to fusion summon use our opponent's monsters. And onto the traps. Infinite Prims, it's also a target for cross-out designator. Shadoll Schism, which I can fusion summon Shadoll monsters by banishing fusion material monsters from my graveyard and special summon El Shadoll monster from my deck from my action field. And then if I special summon one with the same attribute as the one on the field, I can send that monster to the field, to the grave, besides my own. And now going to our extra deck. Salmon Great Omrage, for obvious reasons, no need to explain there. Secure Garnet, so I'm going to take less damage. Cross Sheep to help me extend my plays even more. When you fusion summon, because if you do fusion summon to where this card points to, you get to special level 4 lower monster. Nightmare Unicorn, so I can go ahead with using the Cross Sheep as quick material and shuffle target card shuffle to the deck. Our Link 3 Black BLS Soldier of Chaos, which can basically can be indestructible by card effects and cannot be targeted by card effects if I use a level 7 or higher monster as a link material. But although it requires 3 monsters with different names, it's worth to summon because he's definitely very strong, and especially considering his deck, he's definitely something your opponent's gonna have a hard time messing with. And our final link monster, Axis Code Talker, to potentially kill your opponent for game and destroy more cards on the field, which they can't respond to. For our fusions, Storm Infinite Fusion, which is the best of poly target. Our Invoked fusions, Invoked Makaba, Invoked Aguidus, and Invoked Purgatrio. No need to explain. For Invoked players out there, they can be able to summon for you. So if you look up these cards and you look up the Invoked, you understand pretty much what they do. And for Shadoll fusions, El Shadoll 2 double, El Shadoll Construct, mainly the reason why I'm playing 2, but it potentially destroys almost any special summon monster out there, but unfortunately not against ones that are like, that can't be destroyed by card effects. So, and then our final Shadoll monsters are El Shadoll Apkalon, which cannot be destroyed in battle, and El Shadoll Window, which can be destroyed by card effects, and then which makes players special summon only once per turn. And again, I hope you guys like the deck profile. Like, I do enjoy doing these type of like these type of like innovative strategies for you to learn and for me to exceed and improve as a content creator. And maybe if you want any advice, you can always comment on below. Let me know if I'm doing anything wrong. If there's something I must have missed out on, I can try to be able to just like give you like an explanation there, and then maybe I'll be more thorough with what I say, because like it's all up to you how you guys feel. So like, I don't know, I personally want to know your opinion, that's all. So again, and I hope you enjoy my content, and then I can continue forward. Thank you.